Traveling is one of the popular hobbies among people nowadays, and rightly so. Everyone loves to meet new people and visit new places, right? But the plot twist arrives when the destination is not as charming and attractive as you imagined it to be. You guessed it right. Today we'll be discussing the top 10 destinations you need to ignore while you're planning your next trip. Know before you go. Let's dive right in. Number 10. Bogota, Colombia. Bogota is not the best city when it comes to destinations for traveling. Owing to its high altitude, the city might charm the eyes of some tourists, but the crime rate suggests that you need to reconsider. Bogota was included by the U.S. state organizations in the most dangerous cities in 2021. Street crime and price hiking are skyrocketing, and apart from that, foreigners are often considered hostile by the civilians. Bogota might be your favorite destination if you're more of an adventurer who likes to play with fire. But if you're off the safe players, you'll probably want to stay away from Bogota. The streets are patrolled by gang robbers at night. No doubt the city is famous for its vibrant nightlife, but hostile security is negligent, due to which you need to be on watch, which certainly takes away the lust for travel. Number 9. Ciudad Juarez, Mexico. Considering the history of drug cartels and high crime rates, Ciudad Juarez is still considered the capital for bad people around the globe. With drug cartels fighting for dominance, this Mexican city has had a lot of issues with the law in the past. Ask any Mexican of his or her favorite bookstore, they'll probably reply by saying borders. Citizens of Ciudad Juarez are caught between living in Mexico and escaping illegally through borders. Tourists like you can become potential targets for the drug lords so that they can smuggle their products out of the country. What do you do when you see someone riding a bike in Mexico? Chase after them. It is probably yours. Number 8. Pyongyang, North Korea. North Korea is considered the most isolated country throughout the globe. Especially with skyrocketing prices of all the essential commodities and a corrupt regime, North Korea is certainly a dangerous place for you to visit. Don't be shocked to encounter petty thefts at every corner of the streets, and get those Korean dramas out of your mind, please. It's nothing like you see on TV screens. Public markets are riddled with pocket pickers and muggers. It is quite normal to get mugged at least once during your stay in North Korea. Access to necessities is limited, and the healthcare facilities are either outdated or only for high-ranking government officials. Living in Pyongyang can make you feel like living in a war zone without the country being at war. Don't be shocked if you see soldiers marching in public places or tanks roaring on avenues. You might be risking your life if you're planning to visit North Korea anytime soon. The only American who was welcomed in North Korea was a basketball star, Dennis Rodman. Unless you look like him, don't expect that you'll be welcomed in North Korea. Number 7. Mogadishu, Somalia. The attractive landscape and Jamaica-like beaches can force you to plan your next trip to Somalia, and why not? We only live once, right? And it is certainly worth the risk after all? Yeah, okay. Somalia was declared by the U.S. State Department as the most dangerous destination for travelers across the globe. Armed conflicts are serious. This is not a Hollywood set we're talking about where Clark Kent in his dashing Superman suit will come flying and get you out of Mogadishu. War has been the fate of Somalia for over 3 decades, and chances are high that you may see a tank or two during your trip to Somalia. Take nothing away from the astonishing scenery, but corruption of political leaders has forced people to fight for their rights, and this makes Somalia a dangerous place for you to visit. Number 6. Port-au-Prince, Haiti. Since the devastating earthquake, Haiti has seen many ups and downs or downs only to be particular. The city lacks basic commodities and the healthcare system has vanished. Your visit to Haiti is likely to go through many trials and tribulations. The city is riddled with poverty, which ultimately increases the chances of you being mugged or your pocket being picked. Haiti is also highly vulnerable to natural disasters, so there's a high chance you'll experience Roland Emmerich's 2012 in actual life. Number 5. Damascus, Syria. Now, one thing is for certain, Damascus is a breathtaking place to visit, owing to its rich Islamic history and architecture, which is second to none. You're more than encouraged to visit the place, only if you have a death wish. Sounds cool, no? The biggest risk comes from the dangers of war and not crime. No doubt that the war is practically over in Syria, but you still might see a couple of rockets flying in the air now and then. After the war was declared over, the prices of all the essential commodities have been skyrocketing, and it might cause you to run out of your travel budget. The main threat which is faced by tourists in Damascus, Syria, is potential terrorist attacks. There have been many terrorist attacks recently, and it wouldn't be a headline if we see another in the coming days. While it is historically and architecturally charming, it has been declared a high-risk destination by many travel agencies around the globe. Don't forget that your safety should be of utmost importance while you're planning a trip and thinking of a potential destination. Damascus is going through an economic collapse, and the price of electricity and fuel are skyrocketing. Before we move on, press the bell icon and push the subscribe button. Your support matters to us. Number 4. Las Vegas, Nevada. Everyone has their definition of fun. Now for some people, it might be clubbing, pubbing, gambling, and living in expensive hotels. And for other people, it might start and end with exploration. All those flashing lights are no doubt charming, and all those expensive hotels are eye-catching as well. And oh, gambling! It is a great place for gambling. And to put the long story short, there are only a few places around the globe where you are constantly reminded of the fact that the human mind is capable of all sorts of wonders. Call us jaded, but Vegas is not the place it once used to be. You might have fun in the first couple of days of your travel experience, but then you'll know that everything is materialistic and expedient, and there's nothing like flashing lights and jazz music when you're walking through the airport. No doubt that the Sin City is the adult's playground, but if you're not careful, you might know the bad side of the saying, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas's. True, gambling can be fun, but make sure you stay away from those slot machines if you're on a limited budget, although exceptions can be made if you're a partying millionaire. Hotels in Las Vegas can charge you the highest of rents if you're unaware of the proceedings, and the same goes for the cab drivers. To put the long story short, Vegas is a millionaire's den. Number 3. London, United Kingdom. We know many of you had London on top of your lists. London is historically rich and is very attractive to tourists around the globe, but the ground realities are quite different. Nothing is certain in London but the expense. The city center is very crowded, and don't be shocked if your pocket gets picked up or you get mugged at least a couple of times. Facts are facts. Please don't hate me over this. The thing is, to truly enjoy London, you'll have to get away from the city center and move towards southern or western London. But if you're approaching London like a straight-up tourist, you might end up draining your travel budget in 2 to 3 days. And if you're a traveler whose mood is weather-dependent, then you might want to skip London altogether. And as far as all those historical buildings are concerned, their lust will vanish altogether when you'll have to wait in long queues all day and to get through big crowds to get a decent view. Now, this might provoke the Queen and her secret forces, to be honest. Number 2. Kabul, Afghanistan. Afghanistan has been a war-raged country for more than 4 decades. It was once used as the center of trade globally, owing to the crossing of the Silk Road. Terrorism has always pushed Afghanistan into turmoil, which is why it is on top of our list of the worst destinations for travel. It is more than possible that you see rockets instead of kites looming in the sky. Number 1. Dhaka, Bangladesh. Asia is popularly known among travelers for its diverse culture and tradition, but some places demand caution before you plan to step in. Dhaka, Bangladesh is one of those cities. The city has a nearby river which is charming and attractive but is also severely polluted, which can lead to the spreading of various diseases. Dhaka has a political system that is largely biased and only favors the elite in the country, and it is due to this reason that the city lacks cleanliness and basic humanitarian assistance. Bangladesh has the potential to be a great spot for tourism, only if the state works on human assistance and cleanliness so that they can improve human living standards before we can recommend it. These were some destinations that you need to be wary of before planning your next trip. Make sure you press the like and subscribe button. Your constant support means a lot to us. Thank you.